I was slacking off at work when I stumbled upon a help-seeking post. My subordinate keeps flirting with me. Should I fire her? As I read through the post, the descriptions of this subordinate's outfits and daily behavior started to feel disturbingly familiar. The more I read, the more it sounded like me. The next day, I wore the most standard office outfit imaginable, a white shirt and a blue skirt. The post updated. This woman is really something. Dressing this provocatively. The attached image was a stock photo of my exact outfit. The commenters? Me. Plus utter shock. I stared at the image in a daze. It really was identical to what I was wearing that day. I clicked into his profile and began studying it from the very beginning. At first, all his posts were extremely professional, must-read content for business elites, company stocks, market operations, trading strategies. I couldn't understand a word of it. Then, one day, the tone changed. There's a girl in my company now. Her eyes sparkle when she looks at me. She greets me with a bright smile every day. Everyone else avoids me. What's going on? The replies poured in. She likes you. He replied, office romances are forbidden in our company. Someone asked, then do you like her? He scoffed, like? Dislike? With no woman in my heart, my sword draws itself, naturally godlike. The commenters laughed. Classic workaholic. Alright, folks, nothing to see here. But after that, something felt off. There were fewer and fewer posts about investments and trading. Instead, posts about his female subordinate's daily behavior became more and more frequent. Until yesterday's help post. Over 5,000 likes, and the comments had hit 4 digits. My female subordinate keeps trying to provoke me. It's affecting my ability to make money. What should I do? The commenters, delighted by the drama, egged him on. Fire her. He replied, I'm a principled leader. I can't just fire someone casually. She's been provoking me, let me explain in detail. And explain he did, at great length. Every Monday at the weekly meeting, she dresses very sexily. Then she stares at me with bright eyes while giving her report. I once mentioned that I minored in literature in college. She just so happens to be a Reddit writer. My Reddit ID is Endless Summer. Her social media nickname is Gummy Jelly. The commenters were speechless. I tolerated everything up to this point, one said. But what do Endless Summer and Gummy Jelly have to do with each other? He replied almost instantly, Summer has cicadas and cockroaches. She likes cicadas and cockroaches, so she likes Summer. If she likes Summer, that means she likes me. Isn't that an obvious hint? The commenters sneered. Haha. Yeah. Very obvious. At this point, I started to suspect that the female subordinate, in his post, was me. Because my nickname in the work group chat was Gummy Jelly. No special reason. I just really liked eating gummy jelly. I didn't pay attention to my coworkers' social media names, and I had no idea who this Endless Summer even was. My main job was being a corporate drone. My side gig was being a Reddit writer, something almost everyone knew. I never revealed my alternate accounts, and I never bothered checking anyone else's Reddit IDs either. The commenters were brutally honest. OP, what do you mean she's provoking you? This is clearly just your own wishful thinking. Exactly. Those two nicknames have nothing to do with each other. I'm dying. OP has already imagined a 300-episode romance drama, while the female subordinate is still stuck in the opening credits. The poster refused to accept this. Then why does she always try so hard to show off in front of me during meetings? The commenters watched him like a clown. Have you considered that maybe she just wants a raise or a promotion? I took a sip of coffee in the break room and started wondering who this poster really was. But to be safe, I needed to confirm something first. Was this female subordinate actually me? The next day, I deliberately wore the most boring office outfit possible, a white shirt and a blue skirt. It wasn't Monday. There was no weekly meeting. But my direct supervisor, Leon, suddenly called everyone in for a brief meeting. After the meeting ended, the post updated again, right on cue. This woman is truly something. Dressing this provocatively. Using my small anonymous account under the name Momo, I replied immediately, how provocative? Show us. Within an hour, my comment had over 1,000 likes. More than the original post itself. To slap the commenters in the face, the poster quickly uploaded an image. White shirt. Blue skirt. The commenters? Every reply was a question mark. The poster rushed to justify himself. You don't get it. She dressed like that today just to see me. Huh? What exactly was I wearing this time? I quickly replied, like what, exactly? The commenters piled on. Now I'm curious. What is it? Isn't this the most standard office outfit ever? Where's the sexiness? Honestly, it's kind of plain. The poster finally snapped. Stockings. I'm a leg guy. She did this on purpose, showing off her long, straight, slender legs. And she even has an iris tattoo on her ankle. It's insanely sexy. Case closed. That female subordinate was me. Because I did have an iris tattoo on my ankle. My name was Iris. And I loved irises more than anything. The commenters exploded. Guys, who understands the pain of trying not to laugh at this while slacking off at work? This OP is definitely in love with his subordinate. I'm forwarding this to my online bestie, this is hilarious. The poster panicked. Forget it. There's no reasoning with you people online. I don't like her, okay? My focus right now is work. A savage comment followed, LMAO. He's been cremated, but his mouth is still hard. I had two direct superiors. One was the head of my business line, Neil. He was already married. Pass. The other was the departmental supervisor, Leon. Single, funny, and possible. Above them both was the big boss, Jay. He was devastatingly handsome, but a ruthless capitalist through and through. Cold. Aloof. Emotionless. Rumor had it he had no interest in women and only cared about money. The odds of it being him were extremely low. All things considered, the most likely candidate was Leon. To confirm the poster's real identity, I used my small account to message him, "Are you from Yenshu Technology?" He replied almost instantly, "How did you know?" I glanced forward. Leon was printing documents, humming to himself. "Oh, what kind of man are you? What kind of man are you?" He was completely immersed in his own singing, not looking at his phone at all. Then, could it be Jay? That terrifying thought crept into my mind, and refused to leave. No matter what, I had to rule it out. I had to down half a cup of baijiu in the break room before I dared knock on Jay's door. Jay was inside, wearing gold-rimmed glasses, reading through documents. The fading sunlight cast a golden edge along his sharp features, defined brow bones, a high-nose bridge, a face that looked as if it had been meticulously sculpted by God himself. The air carried a cool blend of cedarwood and leather. Just like the man himself, expensive, distant, untouchable. When he noticed me, he lifted his gaze slightly. Those eyes, deep as a frozen abyss, utterly devoid of warmth. The moment he looked at me, regret hit me full force. What kind of man like this would ever post something like that online? But I was already standing in his office. There was no turning back, I could only push through with my little test. "What is it?" Jay's voice was low and steady, each word carrying an unquestionable weight. His presence was overwhelming. Speaking to him alone made my palms slick with sweat, yet I still forced myself to maintain a polite smile. "Well, it's like this. Reddit is running a campaign recently, and they were hoping to invite you to participate. I was wondering if you might have time." He lifted a hand slightly. "Bring the documents over." Jay flipped through the papers with focus. His long fingers looked like carved ice, his fair wrist adorned with a watch worth an obscene amount of money. They looked familiar. I'd seen hands like these before, on that account. Closing my eyes, I asked bluntly, "President Brown, may I ask what your Reddit ID is? We need it for the records." He glanced at me. Said nothing. The poster had mentioned that his Reddit ID was Endless Summer. Jay opened his Reddit homepage. I lowered my head, unconsciously holding my breath as I waited for the answer. When the name Jay appeared on the screen, my lungs nearly gave out. His Reddit ID was his real name. Not Endless Summer. The office fell unnervingly silent. Because I was standing too close, a few strands of my hair accidentally brushed against his hand. I'm sorry, President Brown." I apologized in a panic and quickly stepped back. His lips pressed into a thin line, his entire body stiffening, clearly uncomfortable with my touch. I must have been insane to suspect that the poster was Jay. After leaving Jay's office, my legs felt weak. It had been risky, but at least I could mostly rule Jay out. So, who was it? Just as I was drowning in confusion, the poster updated again. "You people still say she doesn't like me? She flirted with me again today. She came to report something completely trivial, then deliberately let her hair fall onto my hand. This woman, she has way too many tricks." My pupils shrank. This couldn't possibly be a coincidence. Was the poster actually Jay? Did Jay think I was seducing him? I wasn't. Then did that mean he was interested in me? The moment that thought surfaced, I shook my head hard, as if trying to slosh the nonsense out of my brain. How could a ruthless capitalist like him possibly fall for me? Sure, his face was outrageously handsome, but he was a full-blown workaholic. He was harsh on employees, and even harsher on himself. The year the company went public, he left work at midnight and returned at 4 in the morning, for an entire year. Even security guards with military backgrounds couldn't outlast him. Someone once said that if Jay ever wanted to date, he'd have to carve time out of eating or using the bathroom. Because he couldn't afford to lose any more sleep. Any less, and he'd drop dead. Against all self-preservation instincts, I glanced back through the window. He was still working, expression stern, phone set aside. Yet the timing of those post updates was too perfect. Whether or not the poster was Jay, I decided to test it myself. After all, the poster kept insisting he didn't like this female subordinate, right? Perfect. I'd give the onlookers something to feast on. I continued provoking him in the comments using my Momo account. What if you're just some ugly, greasy old creep fantasizing about your subordinate? The commenters followed suit. Good point. We've been laughing at OP and forgot the real issue. This is dangerous for the female subordinate. She's just working hard to get promoted, and her slimy boss turns it into a seduction fantasy. The comment section shifted direction instantly. Everyone started attacking the poster's looks and vibe. Someone even posted photos of sleazy-looking men, claiming, "This is what OP probably looks like." At first, the poster tried to defend himself. "I'm 188 centimeters tall, have an 8-pack, I'm handsome, and tons of women chase after me." The commenters mocked him mercilessly. LOL. On this app, everyone's 188 centimeters and worth billions. Oh wow, women line up all the way to France for you, huh? And you're still here fantasizing about your subordinate. Someone dug through his past posts. Case solved, fake elite. The insults escalated. Disgusting. This guy's probably a real-life dinosaur. Blaming his subordinate's clothes for seducing him, gross. The poster was completely overwhelmed, utterly unable to defend himself. I could practically picture him on the other side of the screen, fuming so hard he was about to cough up blood. I quickly messaged him privately. Want to prove yourself? He replied almost instantly. How? Post one of those viral transformation videos. Show your body. That'll shut everyone up. Silence. No reply. No updates on his profile. But the comments section kept tearing him apart, and the post's popularity only grew. I hugged my phone, quietly liking the harsh comments, scrolling until late into the night. Just as I was about to fall asleep, I picked up my water cup to take a sip and wake myself up. A new post appeared. A transformation video. I snapped fully awake and tapped it instantly. The video opened in dim lighting. Only a tall, upright silhouette could be vaguely discerned. Then, a crisp sword chime sliced through the silence. The scene cut sharply. Light exploded across the screen. Warm spotlights flared on behind him, locking precisely onto his figure. I couldn't see his face. But the camera started from his clean, sculpted jawline, slid past his prominent Adam's apple, and traced the elegant line of his collarbones. His hands gripped two glowing light swords. The outline of his broad chest was unmistakable, solid, full, perfectly honed by years of training. Muscle fibers shifted subtly under the light. And there, at the hollow of his left collarbone, a small mole flickered in and out of view. Restrained desire and extreme sensuality collided. The tension was unbearable. Clatter. My hand went limp, and the cup slipped from my fingers, hitting the floor with a dull thud. The video was short. It ended on a clean, decisive finishing pose. Light and shadow traced the perfect outline of his body. The screen faded to black automatically. I stood there, frozen, utterly stunned by such devastating male beauty. The comments exploded. Holy sh*t. This body. This aura. You're telling me this is some sleazy guy fantasizing about his subordinate? I'm sorry, OP. I admit I spoke too loudly just now. Do you need a human accessory? My mom asked why I'm kneeling while using my phone. This is literally god-tier visuals. So, who exactly is the female subordinate? I need all her information immediately. How is anyone supposed to resist this? Some comments were downright unhinged. I can't even imagine how sexy the grunt would be when a man this hot strains on the toilet. Honey, I just weighed myself and found I gained weight. I was confused, until I felt a tremor behind me. Turns out you walked in. Sorry, teacher. Your cosplay is excellent, but it's still lacking. COS stands for cosplay, but you only did the COS, you didn't play with me. Please correct this. The comment section grew increasingly unhinged. I lay under my blanket, stifling laughter until my body shook, terrified I'd laugh too loudly and wake my parents in the next room. I savored the chaos again and again, until one particular comment snapped me back to reality. That mole on OP's left collarbone is criminally sexy. Who has a mole there? It's obviously grown just to seduce people. Right. If I could see Jay's left collarbone and match the mole. Wouldn't that solve everything? I'd confront him with the video, hard evidence in hand. There'd be no way for him to deny it. And then I'd definitely make him explain properly how the hell I ended up liking him. So the question became, how was I supposed to see the great demon Jay's left collarbone? I waited an entire week without a single opportunity to interact with him. Then, during Monday's weekly meeting, our department's performance report revealed a massive error. The temperature in the room plummeted instantly. Jay sat at the head of the table. He didn't slam the desk or raise his voice. Yet every word he spoke was like a blade tempered in ice, slicing cleanly through all pretense and laying the problem bare. This is the final proposal you spent an entire month producing. His long finger tapped lightly on a page of the report. His gaze swept across the room, no one dared meet it. Flawed logic. Weak data support. Do you think the company's money is too easy to earn, or that my time is worthless? Leon was drenched in cold sweat. He leaned close to my ear and whispered urgently, Iris, quick, go pour President Brown a cup of coffee. Slowly. Slowly. His warm breath brushed my ear, making it itch. Before Leon could finish speaking, a razor-sharp glance cut through both of us. Jay suddenly flung the documents in his hand onto the floor. He barked at Leon, his voice jumping an octave. Your work is this bad, and you still have the nerve to whisper? Do you even want this job anymore? The room fell into dead silence. This was the first time anyone had ever seen him scold someone so loudly. No one understood what was wrong with Jay today, it was just a whispered remark. Leon was petrified, completely frozen. I was stunned too. The foot I'd just lifted to go make coffee quietly retreated. Perhaps Jay noticed my movement, and the fear on my face. He waved a hand at me, his voice softening slightly. Need the restroom? Go. I stood up almost purely on instinct and mechanically walked toward the break room. I had just closed the door when Jay's cold voice echoed from the meeting room again. My heart pounded violently, yet my mind replayed that video on a loop. That small, seductive mole on the left collarbone. Just one look, just one. I deliberately added some cold water to the coffee. I carried the coffee back toward the meeting room. Jay's voice inside still hadn't stopped. That insane thought wrapped around me like creeping vines. Taking a deep breath, I pushed the door open. At the exact moment I placed the cup beside him, my foot slipped. The entire cup of dark liquid splashed precisely onto the left shoulder of his expensive suit. I'm so sorry, President Brown. I cried out. Before anyone could react, I practically lunged forward, fumbling as I tried to peel off his soaked jacket and shirt. I'll wipe it. Please take it off, quick. You'll get burned. My goal was crystal clear, left collarbone. My fingers brushed against the cool fabric of his shirt. I could even feel the firm outline of muscle beneath. Amid a roomful of sharp, synchronized gasps, I succeeded in pulling open the left side of his shirt. Cold-toned, pale skin. Clearly defined musculature. But there was no mole. Nothing. Perfectly clean. Time seemed to freeze. I stood there, stiff, my hand still clutching his collar. Jay's body had gone rigid. Slowly, he turned his head. Those deep eyes locked onto me, filled with disbelief, shock, and embarrassment. The tips of his ears flushed purple at a speed visible to the naked eye. You. Jay, you. He stammered endlessly, unable to finish a single sentence. Afterward, everyone in the department gave me a thumbs up. Iris, if it weren't for you, we wouldn't have walked out of that meeting alive today. Your willingness to sacrifice yourself for the team will never be forgotten. Leon came over and handed me his most beloved Pikachu cushion. Hero. We are forever in your debt. And, since you offended President Brown for our sake, you'll definitely get your bonus docked. We'll make it up to you. Don't worry. Yes, everyone echoed. At that moment, my coworkers looked united, like they were ready to charge into battle together. Just then, Megan from finance happened to walk by. She poked her head in and said, I actually asked about this for you. President Brown said Iris's bonus won't be deducted. The department erupted. Huh? Has the boss changed? Maybe Iris's coffee splashed some water into his brain. A coworker from another department came over to tease me. Iris, you're usually pretty sharp. Were you scared senseless by President Brown today? I know you wanted to fix things, but who just strips their boss on the spot? She lowered her voice, holding back laughter. Do you know what everyone's saying in the group chat now? They're calling it Iris spills coffee, with eyes on Pei Gong, the collarbone. Ha 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 ha. They even say, you might be President Brown's secret, extreme wife fan. I felt like crying. My heart sank into icy despair. Looks like the man who posted that video wasn't Jay after all. Could that entire post really have been just a coincidence? After all, Jay worked like a man possessed every day. How would he possibly have time to train those chest and abs? It must have all been my imagination. When I got home, I hadn't even warmed my seat before I opened my phone. And the poster updated again. Situation escalated. Today, my female subordinate splashed coffee all over me in front of the entire department, then forcibly stripped my clothes. Is this some new kind of attention-seeking tactic? My phone slipped from my hand instantly. How was I supposed to explain this? There was no way this was a coincidence. That meant the poster had to be Jay, but then what about that mole? I replayed the transformation video over and over, pausing it carefully. Pause. It was definitely there, a mole on the left collarbone. Then suddenly, something clicked. I noticed the logo on the bag behind him in the video. The text was reversed. I got it. Mirroring. In the video, the mole appeared on the left shoulder. Which meant that in real life, I should have been checking his right shoulder. I'd really outdone myself in stupidity. I went back and started scrolling through every single one of the poster's past posts. All the way back to a year ago. There, I found a post complaining about a brother. I seriously don't understand brothers who are willing to live and die for a woman. Abandoning projects worth tens of millions just to get drunk in bars. Heh. No wonder his company will never outperform mine. The attached photo showed his brother drinking himself senseless. I recognized the man instantly. It was the CEO of a neighboring company, Lucas. Recently married. On the day Lucas posted his wedding photos in his moments, Jay had mocked him in the comments for being a love-brained idiot. I rubbed my sore eyes. Case closed. The poster was definitely Jay. 12, 1 or 2 daily posts might have been coincidence. A person could have more than one Reddit account. A mole on the right collarbone could be Schrodinger's mole. But in Yenshu technology, the only person who could call Lucas a brother. And openly say Lucas's company could never beat his. That level of arrogance, paired with brutal honesty? It could only be Jay. As that conclusion settled in, a storm of emotions surged through me. In his posts, Jay sneered at his brother's love-brain tendencies, and twisted my hard work into some calculated attempt to seduce him. An evil plan slowly took shape in my mind. I wanted to see just how long he could keep that mouth of his shut. I opened my private messages and went straight for the jugular. OP, your female subordinate's name is Iris, right? He panicked immediately. How do you know? I typed back calmly, I commute in the same office building as that girl. Jay freaked out. Which company are you from? My eyes darted sideways. Post an abs video on your profile, and I'll tell you. After a moment's thought, I added, this time, I want you moving. After I sent the message, the screen fell into a long, ominous silence. I could practically picture Jay's expression. The cracks forming on that eternally frozen, handsome face. Long fingers hovering over the screen. Typing. Deleting. Typing again. Deleting again. Finally, he replied with just 4 words. Strained, restrained, and barely holding together, absurd. Impossible. I stifled a laugh and typed leisurely, oh? Then never mind. I'll just forward this entire post to Iris. Don't bother deleting it, I've already screenshot everything. That dose of poison worked instantly. At the top of my screen, the typing indicator flashed repeatedly. For a full 3 minutes. Not long after, a new video appeared. I tapped it instantly. This time, the lighting was still dim. Jay didn't show his face. He displayed that perfectly trained body. Broad shoulders, narrow waist, sharply defined abs, a deep V disappearing into the loose waistband of his sleep pants. And the deadliest part? He actually, extremely stiffly, extremely unnaturally, twisted his hips. The movement was drenched in the shame of being forced into performance. A devastating contrast to his usual cold, restrained elegance. Pfft. I collapsed onto my bed, clutching my stomach as tears streamed down my face from laughing too hard. Meanwhile, the comment section exploded in real time. This is lethal. What kind of stimulus did OP just receive? Is this something I can watch without paying? These lean muscles. That waistline. This pure yet sultry contrast. OP, if you've been kidnapped, blink twice, but please keep going. Sisters, stay calm, wait, are his ears red? I saw it. Under the light, he's definitely embarrassed. I used to think I didn't like muscular guys. Turns out I was lying. My mouth's harder than OP's, abs first, next time we demand pecs. Jay promptly deleted all the videos on his profile. That's not what I meant when I said I wanted to kiss her. And just like that, I repeated the same trick again and again. Jay was completely hooked, posting one transformation video after another at my baiting. His followers multiplied. The clothes came off piece by piece. His waist twisted softer and softer. Fans left savage comments, this feels uncomfortably like forcing a decent man into prostitution. Before long, his follower count broke 6 figures. At work, during a meeting, the top performer from last month was bragging endlessly about his achievements. Most people were already bored and had started slacking off. Including Jay. Quietly, I took out my phone too. It buzzed. Jay, can you stop making me post those? If this keeps going, I'm going to become an internet celebrity. I stole a glance upward at the CEO sitting in the center seat. Sure enough, his long fingers were flying across his phone. I replied quickly, me, isn't that a good thing? This kind of massive traffic, people would kill for it. Jay, no. Jay, I'm afraid she'll find out and look down on me. She? I sneered. Me, didn't you say you don't like her? At the top of the screen, typing, flickered for a long time. Finally, he squeezed out one sentence. Jay, who likes her? Heh. You'd better mean that. Almost simultaneously, I felt a scorching gaze shoot over from the main seat. I instinctively looked up, and crashed straight into Jay's unfathomable eyes. He looked away immediately. His jawline was drawn tight as steel. He casually grabbed the iced Americano on the table and took a huge gulp. His Adam's apple bobbed violently. My phone buzzed again. Jay, she hasn't smiled at me lately. I stared at the screen, baffled. Me, maybe she just doesn't like smiling by nature. He seemed to arrive at his own conclusion. Recently, to prevent him from continuing to misunderstand my actions as flirting, I stopped smiling entirely during weekly reports. I even started dressing as unpleasantly as possible. Since he was a leg guy, I wore loose sweatpants every single day. Sure enough, there were no more updates about me. His profile was now filled only with borderline videos he was being forced to post. When I didn't reply for a while, he started talking to himself. Jay, but she always smiles at some guy in her department who looks like Leon Turtle. Jay, humph, women. Such terrible taste, falling for someone else already. We were never dating, thank you very much. Jay, Leon Turtle isn't as tall as me. Jay, not as handsome either. And definitely not as smart or rich. Jay, so why is she flirting with him instead of me? Jay, you don't understand, she's the best at baiting men. Jay, her tactics are insane. I swear no man alive could resist her flirting. Jay, is it because I've been too cold to her? Did she get discouraged? Jay, what do you think, should I take the initiative? Maybe give her a small gift, encourage her to keep baiting me? Dear God. He was a pure chatterbox. How could this man, who barely spoke a word in real life, be this verbose? Jay had turned our chat window into a diary. While he was monologuing enthusiastically, Leon from the next seat poked me with his finger and discreetly passed me a few tangerine segments from below the table. Nice, I whispered. Never forget your real dad when there's food. I shot him a grateful wink and popped a segment into my mouth. Crack. A sharp sound cut through the report on stage. Everyone startled and looked over. Only to see Jay's pen snapped cleanly in half in his hand. Ink splattered all over his fingers. He seemed completely unaware. Expressionless, he pulled out a tissue and wiped his hands slowly, methodically. Every movement radiated cold restraint. Continue, he said. His voice was low, emotionless. The entire conference room was dead silent. Jay's knuckles had gone pale from how hard he was gripping. Betraying the jealousy he was nearly grinding his molars over. He lowered his head and tapped on his phone a few times. I immediately received a new private message. Jay, I'll fire that Leon Turtle after the meeting. Wait, sir? Didn't you say you were a principled leader who didn't fire people casually? And also, who exactly is Leon Turtle? Moments later, Leon leaned over again and whispered conspiratorially, do you know what got into the boss just now? I leaned in, eager for gossip. No idea. Bang. Jay suddenly slammed the table and stood up. The presenter jolted in fright. Boss, did I say something wrong? Like an old lady wrapping smelly feet, Jay snapped. Meeting adjourned. With that, he strode straight out of the conference room, leaving everyone stunned. As Leon and I stared at each other. It hit me. Big eyes. Flat mouth. It was Leon himself. Holy sh*T Leon Turtle. After Jay's guidance last time, our department's project wrapped up perfectly. As the workday neared its end, someone suggested going out to eat together. And hitting a bar afterward to relax. I hesitated. If I got home too late, my dad would break my legs. Leon noticed my hesitation and tempted me, my treat today. You coming? Yes. Absolutely going. Free food, why wouldn't I? Leon slung an arm casually around my shoulders. Then what about your legs? If they get broken, I'll help you reattach them. It was my first time ever stepping into a bar. The neon lights were dazzling, and the music was so loud it made my heart ache. The most well-behaved kid in our department said he wanted to play a game. I got swept up in the mood too. Sure. How about dice or poker? The new guy beside us jumped in immediately. Hey, those are for old people. Let's play pass the tissue. Excuse me? How did I suddenly become old? What kind of deadly game is that? Who'd even want to play it? Actually, that sounds exciting. Alright, let's try it. The rules were simple. We passed the tissue mouth to mouth. Whoever lost had to do a dare. Let's start with me. I wasn't losing, thank God. I was the last one. And right beside me sat Leon. Leon and I joined the company in the same year and got along the best, so naturally we were sitting together. When the tissue had been passed down to the size of a fingernail, trembling between Leon's lips, the entire booth erupted. The cheers were so loud they nearly blew the roof off. Iris, your turn. Don't let bro Leon down. Go, Iris. We women never admit defeat. Leon turned to face me. Under the lights, his eyes, slightly drunk, full of laughter, were unusually bright. They held their usual warmth, along with a hint of expectation. That tiny white scrap of tissue, still warm from his lips, was right there. So close. My heart raced. Half from the game. Half from a nameless panic. I knew it was just a game, but the look in Leon's eyes made it impossible to treat this as simple coworker fun anymore. Hurry up, Iris. Just do it. Amid the deafening shouts, I took a deep breath and leaned forward slightly. I closed my eyes, ready to get it over with quickly. But just as my lips were about to touch that speck of white, a pair of eyes flashed uncontrollably through my mind. Jay's. My heart clenched violently. I froze. My body felt nailed in place. That scrap of tissue, just millimeters away, suddenly felt separated by an invisible chasm. I couldn't do it. Leon seemed to sense my stiffness. The light in his eyes dimmed slightly, turning into something deeper, resignation, understanding. Just as I was scrambling to figure out how to escape this awkward moment, a low voice, calm yet powerful enough to cut through all the noise, sounded from the booth entrance. What are you playing? Jay stood there in a black cashmere coat. His posture was tall and straight, completely out of place in this chaotic, indulgent setting. Like a dark judge who had wandered into a den of excess by mistake. The moment everyone saw him, they sat up straight. Someone muttered quietly, the boss really showed up at the worst possible time. Ruining bro Leon's big moment. Then another head popped out behind Jay. It was Lucas, the CEO from the Lee Group. Hey, Jay's female subordinate. Mind if we join you? Jay's female subordinate? That phrasing felt weird. I nodded. Sure. Come on over. Lucas grabbed Jay and dragged him straight into our booth. Jay sat calmly in the empty seat on my other side. Lucas, meanwhile, plopped himself right between me and Leon. Handsome, scoot over a bit. Leon awkwardly shifted away. Lucas leaned back casually, and suddenly, the distance between Leon and me felt like an entire galaxy. The seating now made it look like a private date between Jay and me. This was the first time I'd been this close to Jay since realizing he was the poster. The clean scent of cedarwood on him mixed with heavy alcohol. For some reason, those abs videos flashed through my mind again. My heart pounded. I was so nervous I barely dared to move. Lucas came back from the SVIP section behind us carrying several bottles of milk and handed one to everyone enthusiastically. Come on, drink some. It's good for your stomach. I didn't take one. I had severe lactose intolerance. Lucas quietly pulled out a bottle of warm lactose-free milk and handed it to me. As the music roared, he leaned close and said softly, it's lactose-free. Still warm. Jay bought it especially for you, kept it in his bag to keep it warm. Was I hallucinating? The great demon Jay, buying me lactose-free milk? Almost immediately, Jay's sharp gaze slashed toward Lucas like a blade. Lucas went silent. Damn it, he muttered. You're not just love-brained, you're genuinely twisted. Even if a male dog gets close to her, you get jealous, huh? Everyone kept playing, but I was honestly a little scared. So I just sat there scrolling through my phone. Jay didn't play either. He stayed right beside me. I drank a bit of alcohol and felt dizzy. I didn't dare look directly at Jay, or speak to him. Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed him repeatedly making strange, inexplicable movements. For example, he'd pick up his glass, take a sip of air, put it down. Pick it up again. Put it down again. Then he'd grab a die, glance at me, and set it back down. What was he even doing? I didn't understand. But I respected it. I ignored him and opened my phone, tapping into my usual apps. The moment I opened it, I saw that Jay had updated again. It was a post from when we were playing the game, about an hour ago. Urgent. My female subordinate is about to be stolen by a male subordinate, Leon Turtle. What do I do? The comment section was roasting him mercilessly. Didn't you say you didn't like her? Strong Bro finally cracked. He's panicking, Strong Bro is panicking. Some people were genuinely trying to help. What exactly happened? Let me give you advice. He replied, she's playing a game with a guy in her department. They were about to kiss. Helpful netizens chimed in. Then just go for it. If you don't act now, when will you? Your body's insane, and even the lower half of your face is ridiculously handsome. Just force kiss her. He hesitated. That doesn't seem appropriate. After all, I'm her superior. The commenters were speechless. Still being strong at a time like this? Then there's nothing we can do. Just keep being stubborn and die alone. After that, he stopped replying or updating, leaving the commenters to lose their minds on their own. I exited the post, and noticed he'd uploaded a video yesterday of himself sitting on a sofa in a suit. Without thinking, I tapped into it. TSK, TSK, TSK. Handsome, handsome, handsome. Like first, watch later. But before I could fully appreciate it, I felt a burning gaze from beside me. I tilted my head slightly and sucked in a sharp breath. Jay's eyes were fixed on my phone screen. Oh my God. I'd been caught red-handed. Time seemed to freeze at that exact moment. I saw it clearly. Jay's pupils shrank abruptly, as if he'd been struck head-on. The phrase public execution had never been so vividly etched onto the face of this always composed, always dignified capitalist. He snapped his head away and downed the remaining strong whiskey in his glass in one gulp. He set the empty glass down, almost a little unsteady. Then poured himself another full one and tilted his head back again. 3 consecutive shots of hard liquor burned down his throat. There was a self-destructive ferocity to his movements, yet the tips of his ears flushed so red it looked like they might bleed. Lucas, seated on his other side, took everything in. He leaned lazily toward Jay and murmured, teasingly, in a voice only the two of them could hear, "So, you got caught by the real deal, and you're still pretending. If you like her, just confess. What are you doing drinking alone here, waiting for the girl to throw herself into your arms?" Jay's jawline tightened. From between clenched teeth, he forced out a final, dignity-saving rebuttal. "I don't know what nonsense you're talking about." His voice was roughened slightly by alcohol, yet he still clung stubbornly to that crumbling pride. Lucas snorted and shook his head, his gaze flicking toward me. "You two really are a perfect match," he said lightly. "One slow, the other's pretending too hard. By the time you two actually get together, the world will probably have been destroyed and rebuilt a few times already." Not long after I got home, Jay sent me a private message. "I'll never listen to you again. She's already seen everything. I don't care if you forward it to her." Oh. So he didn't know that this Momo account was me. Me, does she like it? Apparently my reply caught him completely off guard. "Jay, I don't know. Me, but she liked your post. Isn't that enough? She's obviously super into it. No woman can resist that kind of temptation." He sent a sighing sticker. "Jay, she hasn't come to flirt with me in a long time. Even my seduction tactics don't work anymore." I stared at the screen with a giant question mark over my head. I asked sincerely, "Me, if you like her, why don't you go after her?" This time, he admitted it. "Jay, you forced me to post so many videos. I'm already tainted. I don't deserve her anymore." I closed my eyes. The logic of rich people was truly beyond my comprehension. It was just a video. It wasn't like he'd been slept with. How did that make him dirty? We'd played enough. I decided to go straight for it. "Me, it's just a nice-looking video. She won't care. Don't take it so seriously." "Jay, how do you know what she thinks?" I was just about to answer, when he suddenly flipped some mental switch and entered full chatterbox mode again. "Jay, you have no idea how awkward she looked when she saw my video tonight." "Jay, oh, speaking of tonight, Leon Turtle pissed me off so badly." "Jay, he actually tried to kiss her." "Jay, scumbag." "Jay, and my brother too, getting that close to her to talk." "Jay, he's married." "Jay, no sense of propriety at all." "Jay, I told you, she's way too good at flirting." "Jay, no man escapes her grasp." "Jay, sigh, if only I were her department head." "Jay, then the one forced to kiss her tonight would have been me." "Jay, but don't misunderstand, I just mean, using a game like that to get closer isn't bad." He really was incapable of shutting up. I directly quoted his earlier message back to him. "How do you know what she thinks?" Then I typed, "Me, because I'm Iris." Send. The other side went completely silent. Then, at 4 in the morning, the account was quietly deleted. The next time we met, Jay never once met my eyes. Even when we ran into each other in the elevator, and my coworkers greeted him, he would only give a small nod. Lips pressed tight, head lowered, not a word spoken. After we exited the elevator, Xiaomei complained to me, "The boss seems to be in a bad mood lately. He's always been cold, but now it's so bad I feel like I need a down jacket just standing next to him." I didn't know how to respond. I could only smile. I couldn't exactly tell her that the boss wasn't in a bad mood. He was just unbearably awkward around me. If it weren't for his powerful sense of career responsibility holding him together, he probably wouldn't even want to come to the office anymore. But somehow, I understood him better now. He wasn't actually aloof and cold. He was just socially anxious and secretly horny. How he ever became friends with someone as socially fearless as Lucas was a mystery to me. "Iris, go to President Brown's office. It's the end of the year. Your department is up for the annual summary. I knocked on the door with the documents in hand. Come in. He was working meticulously, head lowered, aura overwhelming. Then he looked up. And within 1 second, his ears turned red. I glanced down at myself. A thick hoodie. Baggy jeans. He couldn't possibly claim I was seducing him like this. Straightforward as ever, I asked directly, there was no one else around anyway. President Brown, I'm not showing my legs today. What exactly did I do to make you blush like that? He spun his pen, feigning calm. Thin lips parted slightly. Breathing. I stared at him, utterly baffled. After I finished the report, he reached into his pocket and took out a bottle of warm, lactose-free milk. You did very well, he said calmly. This is your reward. I opened it and took a sip. Capitalists really do have good taste. Even their milk tastes better. I teased him lightly. So I helped your fan count grow from 3,000 to 300,000. What's my reward? The moment I mentioned the posts, the tips of his ears reddened again. Though his face remained perfectly composed. Without a word, he pulled a box out from under the desk. Here, he said. It's all in here. I squatted down to look. A brand new Chanel bag. A limited edition Bulgari bracelet. Everything, every single item, was something I'd once casually posted about on my small account. He bought all of it? That had to add up to over $1 million. I had to admit. Capitalists really were generous. He walked over and crouched down beside me. In those beautiful eyes of his, I saw my own reflection. Iris. I'm sorry. Sorry for what? I shouldn't have mistaken your professionalism and hard work for deliberate attempts to seduce me. You're very capable at your job. He paused, his voice dropping lower. And even more so? I shouldn't have posted those things online. I shouldn't have speculated about you that way. It's fine, I said casually. I got my revenge anyway. I let you die socially, twice. My gaze drifted back to the box filled with luxury goods. As if by accident, I asked softly, so, did you do all this because you felt guilty? Or because of something else? Jay. Do you like me? The air froze instantly. It was as if someone had pressed a pause button on him. Even his breathing halted for a split second. The faint redness that had just faded from his ears surged back at an alarming speed, spreading all the way down his neck. He suddenly stood up, moving so fast he nearly stumbled. With his back to me, he walked toward the floor-to-ceiling window, leaving behind a stiff, upright silhouette. One that somehow radiated unmistakable panic. I watched his clenched fists, the subtle rise and fall of his shoulders, and waited patiently. Seconds ticked by. The office was so quiet I could hear my own heartbeat. Oh my God. I screamed silently inside my head. Jay. Is admitting you like me really harder than filming a hip-twisting video? Will it kill you? Just as I was about to give up and stand to leave. He suddenly turned around. Those deep eyes no longer avoided mine. He looked straight into them, with the resolve of someone staking everything on one final move. His Adam's apple bobbed, as if he were using up every ounce of courage he'd ever had. Each word seemed to be forced painfully through clenched teeth, landing clearly in the silent air. Yes. He paused, as though even that single syllable had drained him completely. Then he continued, his voice low and hoarse, yet unwavering. Iris. I like you. I've liked you for a long time. It was only after we got together that I truly understood what being stubbornly tight-lipped meant. Other people go through trials by fire and emerge with spiritual relics. Jay went through his. And came out with a mouth. On our first night together, I laughed at him. He grabbed me firmly and said, I'm not just hard-mouthed now. My whole body is hard. The curtains fell, shutting out a riot of spring.